She leaves her purse there next to the wrapper and heads down the hall to her bedroom. She steps out of her dress and pulls on a pair of Victoria's Secret sweatpants and a Dallas Cowboys jersey that she sleeps in. When she picks up her toothbrush, her fingers feel tingly, as if they've fallen asleep. She puts the toothbrush into her mouth and notices the swelling of her lips. She squints at herself in the mirror. Not only does it look like someone punched her in the mouth, but also her whole face appears to be swelling, as if she suddenly gained 20 pounds. Worse than her appearance, her breathing has become labored. Susan tells herself not to panic. She has a known peanut allergy, and any hint of peanut oil could trigger this reaction. Her friend who left the cookies knows about the allergy and labeled them "they're safe," but must have accidentally baked in some trace of peanuts. Moving slowly, trying to keep her breathing under control, Susan opens the medicine cabinet and with fingers swollen like sausages, grabs her EpiPen. Tearing open the package, she walks over to her bed, sits on the edge, and then, without hesitation, jams the needle into her leg, right through her sweatpants. She waits. She knows that she needs to call 911, but her cell phone is in her purse back in the kitchen on the other side of the house. She decides to wait a minute and let the shot of adrenaline do its job. She concentrates on her breathing. Air wheezes through her throat like wind whistling through a desert canyon. Her vision blurs, her heart won't stop pounding. A wave of dizziness nearly topples her off the bed. She needs to get to her phone. The shot isn't working. She rises and takes a step forward, but the floor seems to tilt under her feet. She makes it to the hallway and collapses. She tries to stand, but all her muscles are cramping, shooting lightning bolts of pain throughout her body. Over the pounding of her own heart, she hears something. Footsteps. Thank God, she thinks. Help, Susan tries to say, but no words come out. Her lungs have stopped inflating. Her vision darkens. There are no stars in this blackness. Part 1. Chapter 1.
I pull my Ford F-150 into the small parking lot at the Rio Grande Bank and Trust in Waco.
A big Dodge pickup, even bigger than mine, is taking up 2 handicapped spaces right in front. I drive around to the shady side and find an opening far from the door. It's my lunch break, and I need to deposit a check for my girlfriend. "Tell me again, Rory," my lieutenant and new boss says from the passenger seat, "why your girlfriend doesn't get a bank account in Tennessee?" Kyle Hendricks and I became Rangers right around the same time and have always been competitive. Up until about a month ago, Kyle and I were the same rank. Then my old boss, friend, and mentor, Lieutenant Ted Creasy, retired and Kyle got promoted. A lot of Rangers wanted me to take the lieutenant's exam, but I wasn't in the right headspace to apply for the job. I've been through hell and back in the last year. Now that Kyle's my boss, I remind myself to be respectful of his position. After all, he's in his late 30s, a few years older than me. The Texas-bred good old boy has hair the color of straw and the long, lean body of the baseball pitcher he was back in high school and college. Since football was my sport, I thought of Kyle and me as 2 quarterbacks vying for the starting spot, fueled by a mix of mutual respect and distaste. Then suddenly, one of them became the coach. Coach invited me to lunch at a local restaurant called Butter My Biscuit, which I took as a good sign that he wants to smooth this transition. But the way he's been ribbing me about Willow makes me think that maybe he hasn't changed much after all. "Hell," Kyle says, "it's the 21st century. They got national banks now, you know. Wells Fargo, Capital One, you might have heard of them." I ignore him. The guys at work tease me all the time about Willow, who moved to Nashville a good 8 months ago. She's a country singer, a hell of a good one, too. Through most of her 20s...